¿Qué tal mi gente? ¿Qué tal mi raza una vez más? Bienvenidos a este que es su programa. Yo soy su amigo de siempre, Fernando Zápari, aquí en Fort Wayne Access TV. I just want to thank Joe, Dennis, Elizabeth, Marcela for their time, their volunteers, and of course our great friends Daniel Gell and Tim Zink. Today we have it's just such a great honor to have not a one-time Olympic gold medalist, but two-time Olympic gold medalist. And it's a great honor for me to introduce to you a man that does not need much introduction. Marshall White, he's the founder of UPAF and director and the life coach for Voices of Unity. Mr. White is married, has 4 children, and you founded UPAF in 2000. And also, we have Mr. Benjamin Van Otter. He is the task force leader for UPAF, or the Voices of Unity. Welcome, gentlemen. Bienvenidos.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you again, Fred.
Tell us about, I know in July, is it July? Yes. The 2012
World Choir Games.
Yes. Tell us about him. I mean, where is it going to be held? How's the Voices of Unity preparing for, so forth?
Well, the World Choir Games are the Choir Olympics, and they'll be coming to America for the first time this year, 2012, in July in Cincinnati, from July 4th through the 14th. And the Voices of Unity is getting ready to go back and literally defend our gold medals and become a fierce force again in the World Choir Olympics, and we're looking forward to it. We started our training yesterday, and we're looking forward to going back and representing the city with excellence again.
When you talk about representing the city of Fort Wayne is very famous, you know, inventors of color television, inventors of refrigerator, believe dishwashers too, General Electric base here. But how many times have we had a world champion like you guys? And not just one time. And this happened
Actually, we just got
2 years ago.
2 years ago, 2 gold medals, and this is the first time that we've ever had a choir in Fort Wayne involved in a international Olympic competition, choral competition. So yeah, this is a historical accomplishment for these young people.
And you didn't only win 2 gold medals, but you were also the #1 soulful choral youth choir.
Yeah, in gospel music.
In the world.
Yes.
Period. How many choirs compete in this Olympic?
Oh, anywhere up to between 400 to 500 choirs, 90 countries.
90 countries. What a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
This is the 7th World Choir Games. And again, it's going to be held in Cincinnati. And our good friend here, Benjamin, how are you helping these kids, this gentleman here? I mean, it's a huge task, but it seems to me like you're pretty comfortable with your title as a task force leader.
Yeah.
What are your duties? What do you do?
Well, that's definitely a loaded question, but essentially my responsibilities dial into just getting as many members of the community involved in our efforts leading up to July, when we'll actually be sending the kids off to Cincinnati. And obviously there is a fundraising aspect to it and helping organizationally there, as well as a lot of the publicity involved and just properly placing people in accordance with their talents and exactly what it is they want to do to help support the choir and Unity Performing Arts leading up to, you know, actually sending the kids off in July. So,
Members involved, how can we do that? I mean, what else do we need to do? What can we do? How can we get everybody involved?
There are so many ways. Obviously, volunteers is a big deal. I don't know if you've seen driving around, you know, Fort Wayne on the streets, every now and again you'll see kids on corners at stoplights as part of our fundraising efforts. That's really kind of the grassroots, you know, effort. Each kid is responsible for, you know, bringing to the table a set amount that that they have to bring forth in order for them to be able to go in July. So we need volunteers to help organize that and be with the kids in the evenings throughout the weeks that we do those fundraising efforts. One of the big pushes we're working towards right now is just incorporating local churches and accumulating volunteers with churches, and helping again with some of our fundraising efforts as well. So obviously financially you could be a part of our efforts leading up to July. You can go to our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/voicesofunity, as well as our website, www.defendingthegold.com. So there's a lot of clips and videos there that you can see some of the things that the kids have been a part of over the last few months. So,
when you say you started preparing for the games already last week, how do you guys prepare? I mean, tell us about what goes on a training session with the kids.
Well, the training goes into 5 different dimensions: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological training. And artistic, well, we actually incorporate that in the physical side of it. But the kids are educated first on the intensity of and the magnitude of the task. It's not just simply getting ready for a concert. It's getting mentally ready to take on something that's much bigger than you and much bigger than anything that we do in our season. The demand on the kids physically, the demand on the kids artistically, the demand on the kids mentally, how you got to stay in an environment. In this case, our kids are not just going to compete. Now they are now ambassadors. So as ambassadors, they're now playing roles as representing far beyond the competition. So we've been asked to do the opening ceremony with Kirk Franklin, who is writing the opening song. We've been asked to do the closing ceremony with hundreds of other groups, members in the international community, and that's a truckload of music that they have to learn for that. And then we've been asked to do a celebration concert, and that concert is for the dignitaries of the World Choir Games. So the kids have an overwhelming schedule, and so we started the training out just by literally beginning to get them mentally prepared, by educating them. And last night we had our first training session, and literally that was just about who is the artist that they will be singing with, and educating them on this artist and who this artist is. And we watched his videos, we went over his bio, we studied his bio, so that they would have an understanding to know that they're literally working with a superstar gospel artist. This guy is huge in the gospel industry, 9-time Grammy Award winner. So most of these young kids don't know things of that magnitude. Then we'll go into mental training on understanding what the World Choir Games are, because they have to take on this role of ambassadorship, and they're going to be watched and scrutinized, and
they're ambassadors.
Yeah, they have to stand as professionals.
Not just for the city of Fort Wayne, not just for the state of Indiana. They're ambassadors for the U.S. Yes. And how many U.S. choirs went to the games in 2010?
There were 6 or 7 choirs in the U.S. that went. This year we got 123 choirs registered from the U.S.
From the U.S.
Yes.
And you guys were the only...
We're the only one that won the second week of the Olympics in 2010.
Mr. White, 2 years ago, the team for the World Choir Games was singing together brings nations together.
I think that's their preamble.
Okay, so
that's their introduction. Yeah.
Okay, what's the theme for this year's?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
but I know that's the intercultural.
But it's so beautiful,
tag.
and it makes so much sense, and I hope that stays like that forever. And it makes so much sense. Yeah, singing together brings nations together. Yes. Yeah. There's so much violence out there. There's so much hatred. There's so much people wants to have that power. But bringing these kids together, bringing these young people together, and putting together this group of kids like you have is incredible. And again, like I say, what you guys accomplished 2 years ago. I remember meeting with you, talking about it. You came to some of our fundraisers that we were doing for a great cause for Jorge. Jorge is a totally healthy kid. He was suffering. Yes.
Yes.
He was suffering from kidney failure, and he was undergoing dialysis 4 times a day. Jorge is perfectly fine now, thanks to you guys and to many people out there in the community. They pulled together, and we were able to raise that money, and Jorge is totally, perfectly healthy.
Wow.
But again, it's just tremendous. I remember talking to you back then, and I remember telling you in one of our meetings, I said, there's no doubt in my mind that you guys will come back with the goal. But it was a huge surprise, not just for me, but for the country, for Indiana, for Fort Wayne. It wasn't just 1 gold medal. It was 2 gold medals.
Yes.
Tell us about how you felt coming back to the city. Did you feel that you got what you deserve, that parade like they do in a fire truck, or was it more needed? Be honest.
I don't think that the community embraced honoring the children at the level they should have been honored. And they did a welcome ceremony downtown, and I think that was done off the cuff, and it was done at noon the day after we got back. Didn't give a lot of other people a chance to really plan and be there. It was a noon event.
I remember it.
But you know, I look at it from 2 different perspectives, and I say, sometimes people don't really know how to embrace greatness because it's never been something that they've been they have come into contact with. And when something is done that has never been done before, it is very difficult for people to adjust to how do we handle this and how do we deal with this? Because the question goes, well, if we do it for this group, do we have to do it for another group? They begin to compare it with other things. When you do that, you're taking the uniqueness from the accomplishment. And if another group goes out and do this exact same thing, they need to be treated with the same excellence and the same attention. And that's
dignity and respect
right.
that they deserve.
In the same respect. If another group in this community goes to the Choir Olympics
right.
and wins gold medals, they really should be treated the same way, with the same respect and the same adoration. So
I don't have any words to explain the accomplishment. I mean, can I say great? But I think it was even greater than just great. Can I say huge? It was bigger than huge.
Now, do I feel that the kids deserved a parade and deserved all of those things? Yes, I do. I do. Not for me, but for the kids' sake, because it's going to be planted into their minds how the community treats them for their good accomplishments. Because we know how we look at children today when they're achieving something that's negative. We tend to, we glorify it. We tend to give kids who do things that they shouldn't do, the attention and the money and the focus is on them. But the kids who have devoted themselves to something great and positive, they tend to get, oh, that's good, that's fine. And, you know, we tend to just brush it away. My focus on that is, no, we need to give that massive attention. And we need to make sure those kids, they literally have been given the praise and the honor they deserve for their commitment to that.
Benjamin, what is the mission? Can you explain to us the mission of UPAF, please, briefly, to all of our audience?
Well, it's definitely multifaceted, and as it relates specifically to the choir, obviously, it's enabling the kids with every resource possible to become the best version of themselves, and whether it's by public speaking training, imaginative writing, or in creative writing, or through the choir itself, making sure that they're striving for excellence in every facet of their lives, so that when opportunities present themselves, such as the World Choir Games or whatever else the next effort may be, they rise to the challenge, and that they're tapping into the greatest parts of their potential.
And you talk about challenges, and Mr. Benjamin Van Otter, he's a task force leader for UPAF, the Voices of Unity, which is going to be competing in July in the 7th edition of the World Choir Games in Cincinnati, Ohio. Talk about challenges. What is the biggest challenge that you have, with your title, what that you face?
Well, obviously having done a similar campaign in some regards just 2 years ago. There were quite a few folks who were, involved with the effort, whether at a ground level, serving on task force, or if they essentially just gave to the efforts in 2010. And re-sparking that flame can be difficult, considering that it's just been 2 years, and although yes, they did bring home two gold medals, which is a huge accomplishment, creating that same level of excitement just 2 years later is definitely a challenge. So far, though, we've definitely been happy with a lot of the responses that we're getting from folks, but it's a continued effort for sure.
That is right, and it's so true, re-sparking that flame. We got to keep that flame lit, and thanks to this man. Why UPAF? Why did you started this in 2000, the year 2000? Why did you choose, why UPAF?
Well, I started in '93 writing the vision of Unity Performing Arts. It evolved from several different components, and I saw an incredible void here in our city in the arts. Minority, Hispanic, and blacks were not participating in the arts in our community, and they were not taking advantage of the different programs in the arts, not only in the community, but even also in school. And I taught in the school system for a while, and I've been working in the community. I was born and raised here, and I'm, okay, why are the arts not communicating to these two cultures? And it just puzzled me. And so I got so many different answers from people who were involved in the arts, and they were saying, oh, we've been trying. Well, okay, I said, then have we pursued a solution? So over the years, we did actually survey the community and put together a program, a concept that we wanted to, that actually came out of our surveying. The students were saying they felt the arts programming that was currently in our community was not relevant to their culture or relevant to what they liked. And so we had to create and shape this concept around what these children would be attracted to. And it was simple. I mean, you create this program and you make the music accessible to them. You make the music relevant to them, and it's the music of their generation. And all of the training and the education behind it, you develop that to also become relevant to the kids. What is it that kids are really looking for? They're looking for care, trustworthiness, love. They're looking for attention. They're looking for, to me, some invisible substance that a lot of programs don't provide. They just provide activity. So it cost us to give our program some substance along with the activity.
So you say there was a void in the community?
Very serious void.
But the talent has always been there.
It's been there.
Whether it's south, north, east, west, whatever. Whether it's Hispanic, African American, Asian origin kid, or anybody and everybody. Right. The raw talent was always there. It's just helping them.
That's right.
Attain their dream or accomplish their dreams. And,
yes.
And you start with them at a very early age, some of them. What is the demographic composition of the choir? If you
we have in 12 years have created an artistic environment that just is not mirrored in many arts programming in this community. And that is, we have arts, African, African American, Hispanic, biracial, Caucasian, and we've had also some Asian in the program. So we've experienced a diversity not only at the student level, but our program also has diversity at the board level, at the staff level, and at the student level, and which makes our program very diverse in our audience. So we have an extremely diverse audience at our concerts. And it's something that it's part of our vision plan. It was a part of our purpose. Why did we start this organization? We wanted to create the arts. We wanted to give the arts a diversity look, not only in the audience, but also on stage. Not only on the stage, but behind the scenes. And that's what Unity Performing Arts has really achieved. And I'm proud of that, if anything. It's not one culture gravitating to the program. It's multiple people from 19 zip codes, even from out of the city, that are coming to this program.
Wow. Very powerful.
It's amazing.
Very powerful. Ben, can young people still join the choir? Like you say, you have to keep that flame lit.
Yes.
And usually a lot of people get excited, especially just before going to the 7 World Choir Games in Cincinnati. A lot of parents want to, put the kids. Is it still time to sign up
They can't sign kids up now for the games.
Not for the game, but for
they can start in
part.
August to be a part of the next fall season, but not to go to Cincinnati.
Thank you. We have a slide of pictures that our producer is going to show us here pretty soon.
Okay.
And I want you to kind of go over and describe some of those pictures, some of those images for us, please.
Oh, wow. So that's an
Tell us.
exciting image. It speaks for itself. Oh, yeah. It speaks for itself.
Where was this at?
That was in China
China.
when they received their award.
Okay.
And that's the trophy.
Okay, that is the trophy.
And this is when we were with our newfound friends. This is the Hong Kong choir that we embraced and showed love to, and they were forgotten in the concert, the champion concert, and we literally became an audience for them to perform, and we became friends. That was the last night of the Olympics, and that's what really gave the Voices of Unity a very ambassador type title.
Here we go.
That's one of our concerts at the Reinhardt Center, and the kids performing. That's our January concert. Yes.
Praise event.
Praise celebration. That's the star of our campaign. His name is Solomon Gomorrah. I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name. Gomorrah, but he is 8 years old. He's the star of our campaign.
Wow, he's got the looks
of
a star.
Yes. And again, that's another photo in China.
That's awesome. And I think we know that man there on the camera
now.
By the way, we requested pictures from your people, and we just had to improvise, okay? Because we couldn't get no pictures. But again, what you've done in the community, what you're doing in the community has impacted so many families, so many kids, so many people here in the community. And what are your hopes? And I'm not going to say hopes. No, what are your expectations for this upcoming event in Cincinnati?
Oh, I'm looking forward to
repeat. I don't know.
Oh, definitely going to. We're looking forward to do better, and we're looking forward to also come back with gold medals. And if not 2, but 1, we're looking forward to building and developing more relationships, opening up more, preparing to walk through more doors, because the games in America are going to be literally much more effective, because this country has a tendency of taking things for the first time and blowing it up. And so it being here in the States is going to be very exciting.
Historical.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're looking for some great things to happen.
Great things to happen. This is in July.
Yes.
And what makes UPATH and you so successful?
Wow.
So much éxito, we call it in español. Okay, excelencia.
Con excelencia.
Con excelencia. And I know it's not easy when you're working with little guys, with little kids.
Yes. That's
very unique.
Yeah. What makes the program successful? And last night in our rehearsal, I wish people could have been there just to see and hear for themselves. The kids express from their hearts what makes this environment what it is. And it was a tear moment. Everybody's crying because they, from the heart, was expressing. Kids are saying, when I go to school, I'm surrounded by drugs, and I'm surrounded by kids who want to get in trouble. I'm surrounded by kids who talk about me. I'm surrounded by kids who put me down. But when I come here, I'm surrounded by young people who want to be great, who want to be excellent, who want to do the right things. I don't have to worry about putting on a fake face. They come to Unity and they feel like they're important. They feel like they have something to look forward to. When they're at school, it's nothing but chaos. This is how they were expressing. When they come here, it's peaceful. When they come to that environment, they feel motivated. They feel inspired. They can't wait to the weekend to be there. it's family. Everybody there, they feel like family. And that is a hard environment to produce in such a very negative society.
Something that's really interesting to me in my time that I've spent with Marshall and with the kids in the choir is what I think you see happen a lot of times in the school environment is because kids have a tendency to buck discipline and they want to go against the tide of structure. So they have a tendency to loosen up, on what should be more in place as far as the structure is concerned. Within the choir, you find that kids actually respond positively to discipline. They desire structure. And because of it, it actually fosters an environment that allows unity to occur. And it allows, the diversification of different cultures and personalities to really have much more freedom to come together and enjoy each other in an environment that provides that structure that they so yearn for.
Way of explaining.
Benjamin, what is it that you enjoy the most being board member and being part of UPAF?
Oh, goodness gracious.
What did you enjoy the most?
How much time do we have left? It's amazing to be a part of something that really is revolutionary in our community. There is no one else in Fort Wayne in Indiana, and it's from what I've seen so far in the nation that has put in place, a standard of excellence, that structure with youth, whether privileged or underprivileged, and it brings all facets of the community together so eloquently. And it provides for an environment that can be duplicated, across the nation, and really should be.
Very, very good. Awesome. We have 1 minute left, gentlemen. Okay. If you could change something, go back in time about since you started UPAF in 2000, what would it be and why?
If I could change something?
If you could change anything, yeah.
I would have started earlier.
Okay.
I started this program when I was 43. I think 41, somewhere in that area, and I started planning it in 34 when I was around 33. So yes, I would have started earlier, but that would have meant I'd had to stop everything I was doing back there to start earlier. But nevertheless, I'm replicating and duplicating myself in others, and the program is literally going to become a duplication or replication in other cities. That's what we're looking to do in the coming years.
Thank you. What is the message that you send to all the Latino and Hispanic families and non-Hispanic families that are going to be watching this on this show?
I would say to the Hispanic families that here's an environment that you can safely bring your children to, and they will not only be encouraged and inspired, but they will be trained and developed to see their own potential so that they can be a part of changing the culture of the Hispanic families. And that's really the whole point, is preparing them to be the leaders. I mean, the Hispanic community's population is growing. The children need to be developed to be leaders. They need to be in an environment that's going to develop that. And Unity Performing Arts, we're ready to do that.
Once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming to talk to the community. And remember, what is it? Go for the goal. Nothing but goal.
We're going to defend the goal.
We're going to defend the goal. That's right. And that's in July. UPAF, the Voices of Unity, they need our support. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Do you want to give a website on your program? That would be great.
Of course.
Defendingthegoal.com.
What is the website?
Defendingthegoal.com. And you can go there and do donations if you need information about the campaign.
Again, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Benjamin, and thank you very much, Mr. White, for being with us. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Hasta luego.